Hey everybody, thank you for your patience. I know that I'm running slightly behind. We've had a lot of stuff to do this week, so I appreciate your patience. We're going to get started here in just a moment. So thank you all for being here. And yeah, woo, what a week. What a week. Whew. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream. Every Friday we do this, of course, and we have an absolute blast. I am your host who needs a little bit more lighting. Hang on a second. Woo, that's better. My goodness. Eric Schrader is my name. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. I live to serve you guys. That is primarily my goal. And then sometimes I get paid. It's wonderful. Oh my goodness. How about that trailer though? Do you know who put that trailer together? I bet you know. Of course you know. It's our very own LOL High. That's right. He has been a champion of all things lately, and he's been putting these little trailers together for us. So big shout out to him. Member of our community with incredible talent. And oh my gosh, what a delight. Incredible noise. So yeah, that's freaking sick. That's absolutely awesome. Michael says, you always get paid, silly. It's true, I do. Michael's very astute about that. He knows who deserves the pay. Oh my goodness. And yeah, he's a solid boss. All right. So we have done so much this week. It's actually crazy. I don't even know where to start. It's like, wow, what a roller coaster of emotions for us. It's all been great. It's all been fantastic. For those of you who missed it, we actually had a Kickstarter update drop yesterday evening. Maybe yesterday morning, depending on your time zone, or this morning. Wait, how does math work? Don't worry about that. The important thing is that we have an upcoming event next week. This was outlined in our Kickstarter update. It's through PC Gamer, and we are doing an AMA with them. Very exclusive, very, oh my gosh, I'm hyped for it. We've got a solid number of individuals on the team who are prepping and are ready to go whenever that drops next week. So we'll be answering any and all questions that you have, and there might even be some things attached to it if you participate as well. So definitely get on that. I'm serious, guys. Oh my gosh. So, I have not drank enough water today. Whew. Hang on a second. Water drinking stream. Here we go. Okay. Whew. So, per last week, as well as note from Michael, I am going to be a little bit more delicate about the things I show on stream. Of course, I want to give you guys the latest stuff that happens immediately. I also know that we have NDAs in place for a reason. So we're going to be a little bit more cautious about our presentation today. But don't you worry, we're still going to have a nice playthrough of Everspace 2. The most important aspect of today's stream, the biggest takeaway, is this is your space to come to us, Rockfish Games, and ask your questions of us. You see things on the screen. You've just been introduced to Everspace 2 through Gamescom, through IGN, through, whatever outlet it is that you enjoy, that you experience. Here is now your space that we wish to cultivate with an understanding of what it is that we're doing and why we're going in the directions that we are. And also to show you that community feedback is the best feedback. So, woo! So much. Did somebody leak the secret cow level? No, I haven't leaked that yet. Perfect. Nice haircut. Thank you so much for that. Oh my gosh. Seriously, I'm sure that you've all had a similar situation with the times right now, but it took forever to get a haircut scheduled. It's like, what in the world? How is this so difficult? It's like the process of going in. I scheduled my point in time and everything, right? And it's like, okay, we'll come in at 3 p.m. Nailed it. No problems. I walk in there at 2:50 and there's somebody who's late for their appointment. Okay, that's no problem. I can wait. Another person comes in. They're also late. Why are you late? What are you doing when there's nothing to do? And then I get my haircut at 4:30, even though it was scheduled at 3. And then I get home and my wife's like, hey, thanks for leaving me with all the kids. It was awful. Why am I telling you all of this? Because I really don't know. I'm just excited. Okay. Thanks for the compliment to my hair. Oh, it's wonderful. Let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to be really careful about revealing any new stuff. So that's the goal of the stream. But otherwise, yeah, we're just going to be going through the game and it's going to be an enjoyable experience. So if you guys do have any questions, like I said, always go ahead and dive in and ask. Gosh, freaking dang it. Hang on a second. It's fine. You saw in the trailer. We're not going to go experience that location. I promise you, I'm a professional. Okay. So we've updated some assets. For those of you who don't know, well, you just saw there, which we're not going to be going over there today, but you just saw this shattered planetoid. Oh my god, I cannot believe that just happened. Okay. Perfect. We're in the home base of the Ceto system. We did tease that location last week, so it's not all so bad. But over here, it's literally called Shattered Planetoid Region. And just so you know, it's right there. It's called Palaemon's Wound. Okay, so that's that location. It's been completely updated, so that we are we're like redoing a lot of these assets in the game to make them fully realized to what their vision is. You'll still note that for the keen of eyes out there, the keen of eyes, you know what I'm saying, that these planets out here, they all look the same. Like this moon and this planet, they look the same. Same with this one. It's like the exact same planet, right? So even when we go over to Union, you'll see that same planet, the exact same planet. These assets have not been updated, but you're going to see those improvements, much like the Shattered Planetoid and all these other components over time. Okay, all of them will be developed over time, so you are going to see little details added here and there. When we're ready to, of course. There would absolutely be no more accidents during a live stream. So, yeah. But beyond that, we were happy to show you a new location of Union recently. That location is actually hidden here on the map. I'm not going to show it to you unless Michael says, yeah, go ahead and show that gas planet. But if he doesn't say so, I'm not. Game sound? Oh my goodness. Let's make sure that's working. Test. Yeah, it appears that it was going to the wrong channel. It's fixed. At least I need confirmation that it's fixed. I see a yup. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. It's too loud now. Goodness gravy, guys. Seriously. What is going on? All right. Balance has been achieved for you. Can I just mention, okay, let's just get this out there, okay? This week has been crazy for us at Rockfish. This should excite you a lot because there's been a lot of moving parts behind the scenes that we've been addressing so that we can better serve you and better develop our game. And it's coming together nicely, guys. Like, oh my gosh, are we thrilled? So, yes, I kind of hastily put together the stream to make sure that I got it going for you guys, all right? I will completely 100% admit that, but it's also because we're doing a freaking ton of stuff, all right? Cool. Our earbrows can take it, good to know. Perfect. You made it to Union in the prototype, but it, what? Missing? But it, oh, I know what you're saying. So you like flew like this. Yeah, so technically you won't be able to do that. Chris CU plays. Basically what you did is you superlighted over to this area, but I think our plan is to make a border on the outskirts of every solar system to where if you superlight out of orbit, it'll cycle you back around. Kind of like what we do in the areas. And also kind of like what you would see out of a game like Star Fox, right? So it pulls you back, you do a U-turn. Because the main way that you're supposed to get to the other locations isn't by just superlighting all the way over there. You actually use these warp gates, which you can see here, or rather jump gates, that you see here at Union Bridge, right here. That bad boy is your transportation device to navigate to other sectors or solar systems, much like it was in Everspace 1. Perfect. I'm wanting to make sure everybody is good regarding sounds, regarding qualities. Okay. Perfect. You make me excited, like really excited. Mike, dude, like, so obviously being able to like be a part of this development cycle and like seeing our vision like slowly build up and then being the one who gets the privilege of sharing a lot of this content, like bleeding edge content with you guys, I go freaking crazy in having to hold my tongue, okay? Like, it's like, I cannot express to you guys how excited I am and just how much I'm looking forward to sharing more and more of this rich, delicious content to you guys. So I'm glad that you're excited. I'm glad that I make you excited. Like, your energy gives me energy, and it's just, it's a really good time at Rockfish right now. It's a really good time, and ooh. All right, a little bit more game audio, perfect. We'll find the right balance. Thanos will be proud, I promise you. Excellent. Let's test game audio right here. We're gonna go back to our hangar right now. You can see we are in the hangar of the home base with these nice quality. Actually, I took a screenshot of this ship in the chat. I don't know how many of you saw that or not, but I wanted to show the metallic, a more metallic styled ship for you all. I think a lot of you saw it posted in the Discord, but I really like this skin. This texture, this coloration. How do you put that? But it's definitely one of my more favorite ones. In fact, this ship body itself, this combination of wings and body and engines, this might be one of my all-time picks as of right now. At least it is my favorite pick for the Sentinel. I'm really happy with how it's coming along. For those of you who just heard that and went, wait, what? What's he talking about? You can like build your own ship? Yes, we have a modular-based approach to all of the player ships, actually. So the body, the wings, the engines, and the cockpit itself can be interchangeable. They can be combined to create entirely new options. So I'm going to push a button and you're going to see that change where we just get an assortment of different ships. These are all just one class. Keep that in mind, okay? This is just one class. We're getting the same wings a lot. But you can see how just a couple change of paints and bodies and wings, it can make a pretty big difference in your style. Oh, furthermore, this not only is this one class, this is the first tier of one class, of one subclass even. Oh my gosh, that's right, that's a pretty sexy ship. The first tier of one subclass in the game, that's what you're seeing a mixture of, okay? That's how much variety is in just one. And of course, there's gonna be multiple classes with multiple subclasses within each. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of that, I'm gonna get my ship back because I want it. So let me find my wings, my engines. There we go. Actually, we kind of like this color too. This is good. I like the metallic sheen of the blue. It's kind of dirty though. It's scratched up. My goodness, that's fine. Perfect. All right. Yeah, I like this one. It's a little bit more vibrant. That's good. Realize we're using the same headphone? Dude, Luke, that's pretty awesome. So, my goal for this stream is to really kind of do what you guys want me to in the space that we have available. Do you want me to take on some missions? Do you want me to create like a really big combat sequence? Do you want me to fly planet side? Do you want me to explore some caves? If you're gonna ask, can you show us content that hasn't been revealed yet? The answer is immediately no. The only thing that I will show that hasn't been clarified is going to be straight up from Michael, the CEO of Rockfish Games, who is live in the chat right now. Hello. And he's also helping me out answering questions, as well as several other members of the community team and members of the community themselves. So this truly is your space to dig deep with us, ask questions. We want full transparency with you guys so that you understand our process, what we're doing, how money is being acclimated and used, within the game. Like, we don't want you to think that, oh, I backed this project and now where's my money? Where's this stuff going to? Like, we want you guys to know. Okay, we want you to like see what we're up to and how that's moving forward. Also, as you know, early access this December. What? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Still on track. So we're really happy, really looking forward to all of those things. Go to the Planetoid with a chunk missing. Kicks. Dang it. I'm not gonna escape that. All right. So yeah, I kind of want to see what you guys want to see, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll let you all populate that as I kind of just cruise around the home base area. You like the metallic rockfish skin more? All right, okay. Imagine looking for that wing you want and don't get it, says Sky High. So that's, it's interesting that you make that statement. We had a really good question, either on, was it a YouTube? No. Well, I think it was in Discord. The question was about how we can customize our ship. Like, how do we get the pieces, the modules themselves, and then put them together, right? Well, obviously it's not implemented in the current build that I'm running. But also more importantly than that is we're not actually sure yet. Okay, so full transparency here. Like, there are steps in the game development process where we have to have content first before we even know how to implement that fully into a game state for you to obtain, right? So we're still building out a lot of that content. There's so many different ship parts and pieces. It's crazy, and we're still building all of that out. But do know that we are planning on having some sort of aesthetic integration of the game where you can pick and choose the different types of ship parts. Now, I am getting a little bit ahead of myself there because I'm almost crossing over this interesting land into our full-blown ship customization plan in the future, and that is going to be a big conversation piece in and of itself. There's going to be a lot of ship customization in a lot of different ways, so we'll have to kind of hold that off until that point. Just know, the aesthetics of your ship, we do want you to be able to pick and choose. So, perfect. Nice. Can we see some cockpit views? Oh my gosh, of course. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So you'll notice there's some there's some stuff going on. Like if you look at the cockpit right now, it looks like there's like multiple armors and stuff. You're gonna see little issues from time to time during the course of the stream, okay? I wanna make sure that you all understand the very start, and they're not my fault. Also wanna throw that out there, but like this is a work in progress build. This is not live because if it was, it would probably break a lot of your games and or ruin some situations. So this is not a stable build. You're seeing some parts and pieces maybe shifted around accidentally. Just know that it's a work in progress. We're still working on it, okay? But yeah, this is the cockpit view. So up at the top, you would traditionally see your shields, your armor, and your hull, and it would be very clearly listed out there. There's some wonky stuff going on. Again, don't worry about it. Underneath that, we have a speedometer in the very middle. In the very, very middle, this is the furthest I can point, but to the right of that is your ultimate. So we whenever you're moving, the speedometer, of course, goes up. That was a community recommendation, by the way, so thank you guys for that. On the left and on the right, you have your devices, your consumables, respectively, and then down below on the left and down below on the right, you have your primary weapon and your secondary weapon. So I love playing this without the HUD active. So what I mean by that is one of our options. Right here it says hide HUD elements in first person. So if I don't have that disabled, you can see the heads up display, like right here, I have all my information in the lower left and lower right. Health is in the upper left, right? All of that stuff is present, all of that stuff is there. I don't like doing that. That's not how I play. So I say, get that out of here. So now, if I want that information, I have to literally look at my dashboard. But if I'm looking around like this, nice and clean. So you can choose how you would like to look out your cockpit window as well, if you want that information or not. And it could, it could depend on what type of monitor you're using too, if it suits your needs. Any ETA on keys for Steam Early Access? I know that there's a lot of questions being asked. I do want to also point out, if I miss a question, don't fret. We got a lot of time in the stream. We're going to be answering a lot of them. So be patient with us and we will get to you, I promise. All right? So, keys for Steam Early Access will be end of this year. That is 100% confirmed. Aiming for December. And it's also gonna be the time when it opens up. So if you don't have a key to Everspace 2 and you really wanna dive into this, you're gonna be able to support us through that process. And I do put emphasis on supporting us. This is not something where we believe it's like a first hands onto the game pre-order bonus. Like that's not how we look at it. Like this truly is a game that we want to develop with you, for you, okay? So do consider that if you want to support development and you want to also provide feedback, early access is going to be a fantastic opportunity to do so. Excellent. Look at these hydras here. This is a new critter in Everspace 2. Just some friendly looking space creatures. I say friendly and they might not actually be so friendly. But we'll talk more about that later. I'm also gonna fly over here to this asteroid. I know a lot of you guys haven't seen the new home territory layout, so I'm just kind of cruising about it a little bit. You can kind of get a sense of it. You can also tell that it's not fully implemented as well with floating crystals and stuff. Like I said, work in progress. You're gonna see a little bit of that. It's getting tweaked and modified. There's some interesting sights and sounds here. So here's a good question. When is the actual release date for aimed after early access? The aimed release date, I believe, is Q4 2021. And I do say Q4 very intentionally because that date may shift around a slight bit, but it should still be in Q4. Like, it's not going to slip out of that. There's just been a lot of interesting things that have developed, a lot of really cool new ideas that we want to implement, and it's that development cycle. But truly, we want to stick to our guns and we want to get it out the door at the end of 2021. So that really shouldn't be changing much, if at all. Another question from Crimson hello again. Last time I asked whether Linux is supported, and you've confirmed. But what is interesting as well is whether Linux support will be available at launch too. Linux support is scheduled for launch. Right now, I believe Linux is working through... Oh gosh, is it Proton? I haven't had a Linux conversation in a bit. I know that we have some folks in chat who have been doing everything and all Linux stuff. If you guys could hook me up as a reminder. I know that we have like a working build right now. It's not native Linux, but I want to say it's Proton DirectX 11. Okay, thank you. So that's where it's currently at. We don't really have plans to develop it natively for early access, and if you're a Linux user, you already know the answer to that as to why. But yeah, we absolutely want to adhere to our Linux community though, and we are pushing that full release native Linux support. So it should be good. Okay, so now I'm kind of jumping around questions. Again, thanks for your patience. Is there a way to light up a shadowy area with something like firing a flare a la Descent? Ooh, Jay Gnarl, I like your thinking. If the headlight doesn't reach. So yeah, I mean, I think the best way to do that is through example. So just gonna show you a little bit right now where we have this dark area of the asteroid, and you'll note that we do have, wait, do we? Yeah, we do have headlights. It's a bit dim, but it does work to give us a little bit of range. You can even see it helping us out up there. It's just a poorly lit asteroid location, if we're being honest. This is gonna come in handy in the close quarters of corridors and spaceships and inside of planetary caves and stuff like that, very much like Descent. I know that there are lighting solutions with weaponry. So you can see the effect here at the very least, where it is lighting up the area. So you might like blast through a corridor and not be able to see anything, and oh my gosh, there's a critter on the wall, something like that. I think our lighting solutions are still being adjusted from this point, so I would not consider what you see here finalized in that sense, but definitely there will be those effects. Here's one where you can see it lit up a little bit better in quick succession, but I do prefer having the lights on. Let me show you. You can actually, the lights literally toggle on and off on the ship. So stealth mode, yeah, kind of. All right. Let's see what else we got. Love the cheers. Great, excellent. Another question, what will the challenge level be in Everspace 2 compared to Everspace 1 hardcore mode? So will there be a hardcore mode in Everspace 2? Okay, this is a great question. So I think in order to answer this, Crimson, we have to take a quick backtrack and talk about, missiles lighting up more. Hang on, Sky High, hold that thought. So we have to talk about what Everspace 1 was, how it was designed, and what Everspace 2 is and how it's being designed in order to really capitalize on answering this question, okay? So Everspace 1 is a roguelike, right? It's using a lot of these roguelike mechanics in order to pursue a procedurally generated run-based system that gets increasingly more challenging. We also implemented multiple difficulty levels as well as an entirely new mode called hardcore mode. Now, through this process, it's meant to beat you up and spit you out. Like, that is part of the nature of a roguelike in general. And that difficulty curve, while it does seem kind of steep, once you cross over that mountain, oh my gosh, the game just explodes with not only a satisfying challenge rating that you can experience over and over and over again and kind of a fresh new twist, but it also adds a lot of depth to how you're approaching the game. So it's not something where it's like the same thing over and over again, like you could play it that way, but you can explore a lot of rich opportunities based on simply what you discover. Now with Everspace 2, we are not going in the direction of a roguelike formula anymore, okay? Instead, we're going into a very large open world RPG setting. Still a shooter, a spacecraft shooter, right? Now with looter shooter mechanics. So it still has that sense of going out, finding equipment and bettering yourself. But now, whenever you die, you just load back from a checkpoint or right before a mission or, you know, an assortment of things like that where it's story-based. So you'll have your story missions that you can go out and do. You have difficulty ranked areas that you'll go explore as well. So like, for example, if you go over to Union, everything here is going to be harder. It's going to be at a greater challenge for you versus Cedo, which is meant to be kind of your training grounds, get to know the game, stuff like that. And each one of these locations, like if you find a way to bridge over to another slot before you're really supposed to, you're going to be meeting some very dastardly strong challenges ahead of you. And we're designing it intentionally like that, so if you want to test your might and be rewarded for that, you can do that. Or if you want to take your time with a careful approach, you can do that. And this is because of that open world nature we're pushing for Everspace 2 this time around. I know that was a really long response to your question, but again, context is really important with how we design those games and how we're moving forward with that difficulty in mind. All right? Last bit about that, and then we'll wrap that up. Basically, as you're leveling up through the game, we also want to make sure that previous locations still have weight, still have meaning. So the further you progress, say that you get to level, 25, for example. You get to level 25, you're really moving up. Cedo is no longer going to be your level 1 noob McCrush area, all right? Instead, Cedo is going to level up behind you. So if you do want to go back there and scrounge around and it be easier, it will be, but the content is still going to have value. It's still going to have meaning through a slight difficulty increase as you are gaining your levels ahead of it. Does that make sense? And we can talk more about that difficulty system in the future, because I know that that's going to be a large portion content drop as well. But yeah, I think that covers the most of that. Trying to think if there's anything I missed. Oh, so regarding hardcore mode, one last thing. I said one last thing like 3 times, I feel like. But we also have an in-game system that we are planning on creating, and it's called an Ancient Rift. So this Ancient Rift, if you're familiar with, I think they're literally called rifts from Diablo 3, for example, where you get a randomized run effect. It's kind of like a roguelike. It's like a pocket roguelike, where you dive in and then you have a mission and you have to go complete it, and then you get killed or you complete your mission, you come out, you keep all the loot from it. It's kind of like that. That's what we're driving for with our Ancient Rift system. It's like you get a pocket of Everspace 1 plugged into the end game of Everspace 2. Isn't that neat? I feel like that's kind of fun. I feel like that works pretty well. So there we go. Boom. Extensive answer to your question. Will there be any canopies cockpits that won't have the vertical bars during first person kicks? That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, we can't talk too much more about cockpits, but there's a lot of customization coming. That is what I will say. Woo! Bro, will there be Portuguese language? Bro, let me check. Let me check right now. I'm gonna hook you up. Let's get the knowledges together. I'm checking. I don't... Yes, Portuguese will be supported at launch. And I pulled up the information, and Michael, the CEO, already answered the question, but dang it, you know what? Anybody who wasn't on YouTube, now you know. You got the answers that were being sought, and we have achieved greatness together. All right. All right, I'm missing a lot of questions on Twitch, so let me cover all my bases, make sure that everybody's getting their responses answered. And also, again, big shout out to the community, as well as Michael, of course, for hopping in the chat and making sure that you're all getting the responses that you deserve. How much influence do I have on a spaceship design as a spaceship designer? Asked Longbottom. First off, I just want to give you a big shout out, Longbottom. So Longbottom is one of the Kickstarter supporters who is going to literally design a spaceship for the game. And what you're going to be doing through that process is utilizing all of the pieces of every single ship, and you're going to customize your own that will be found in the game. Like, it will be your ship bound into the game experience. We will follow up with all of our creative reward backers from the Kickstarter whenever the early access has been moving through its process. So after the end of this year, it's going to be maybe a beginning to mid next year. That's when a lot of you will be getting emails saying, hey, what are your thoughts on? How did you want to implement? Let's build this together and implement your earned elements that we are keeping our promises to. Whew! And it will be great. So that's perfect. So a lot of freedom there. Oh, I see Michael's also being great in chat as well. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Will I be able to play this with my friends? And if so, how will the combat feel with them? So Jimmy, you can play it with your friends, but you'd all have to be playing it solo because it's not a multiplayer game. But don't let that deter you, okay? So it's a very intentionally designed single player experience, okay? I'm not saying that being cheeky about it or anything. I actually enjoy playing a lot of single player games and then talking about it with my friends who are also playing those single player games. That's just the type of gamer I am and kind of the type of socialite I am, I suppose. But yeah, if you're asking about a multiplayer specific experience, no, we are not implementing that. That's not within our vision. In fact, that's not what the majority of our community wants either. So it's very centralized on a single player experience. That being said, we are looking to hook you up with about a 20 to 30 hour campaign that keeps you invested and on track through the course of the experience that you can, of course, branch away from at any point in time and go do the things that you want to do, pick up the jobs, harass the factions that maybe you don't like or called you names. Screw them. You can pick and choose the way that you experience this as a whole. Beautiful. Man, a lot of suggestions in the chat too. This is great. You guys are on it today. I cannot keep up. And I don't want to just be on a map screen the majority of the stream. I want to show some stuff. So I will get done with just a couple more of these questions and we'll fly around. We'll do some things. How big will the area be that you can explore on the planets? Will it be a small section or literally the entire planet? So if we were to build out all of the planets in their entirety, woo! It would take a lot longer than the end of next year to push this bad boy out because there are a lot of planets. I know you can't see them all, but there are a lot of planets that you will be seeing and many that you'll be going down to their locations and exploring. Through these handcrafted environments that we are compiling for you to experience, we want to ensure you that there's meaningful exploration that rewards you for your time and attention that you're taking in these environments, right? So if we didn't maintain our attention to detail through these locations, then you wouldn't find cleverly hidden sites like this to be rewarded a very rare device that can be very powerful if used correctly. And so through that, the spaces on planets, they're very intentionally designed areas that you can explore, but it's going to be highly saturated with secrets and nuances and clever details that the aware gamer will be rewarded from. Bloodstar, not turbo ghosting you, I promise. I am answering so many questions. Sky High, I'm now finally back to your question of does a rocket light up more? Let's find out. About the dark areas. Oh my gosh. That was a conversation so long ago, but let's just, let's check this out really quick. I want to see. You got a little bit of a light source. These missiles cruise pretty freaking fast though. I wonder if we can see, oh yeah, look, you kind of have like a flare from the mines. You can see a little bit like that. A little bit cheeky use, but I'm sure somebody will figure it out and do something like that. That would be fun. Choose and ask what's poppin'. This chat, man, I'm digging the questions that we're getting. You guys are wonderful today and really appreciate it. Okay. One more questions, and then we'll keep going. Crimson asks, has anyone here played Galaxy on Fire? Yeah, we we certainly have. So Crimson, fun fact, the lead developer at Rockfish Games basically single-handedly created Galaxy on Fire. All right. Once enemies will enemies scale with your level, or will certain areas have different levels altogether? A bit of both. A bit of both. We want to have a rich, meaningful progression through the game. So we find that in games where they make it completely static across the board, where it's like, oh, you're level 1, and all your enemies are level 1, and then you're level 2, and all enemies are level 2, it doesn't feel as valuable because it's just like a stat increase as opposed to an exploration of new ideas and opportunities. So what we're doing is we're giving those options to the player as you level up. So for example, I'll go back and do this one more time with Cedo. Say it's like your level 1 area. Everything there is just a piece of crap. And then Union is like your level 10 area, okay? So when you're in Union and you get up to level 15, level 20 or whatever, if you go back to Cedo, you'll notice that instead of being level 1, now they're level 7. Now they're level 10, something like that, where they've increased behind you. They're still lower, they're still weaker, so it's gonna be an easy location to go, but the content that's dropping and the challenge rating is still going to have some value to you for going back to and exploring and all of that. Shout out to HCK, absolutely. Big shout out to that dog. It's great. When's the furry dice coming? It's a great question. That's a great question. That would look pretty nice, wouldn't it? Where would you hang them though? Like, I mean, I guess you'd have to have a completely different style in your cockpit to do something like that. That would be pretty dope, wouldn't it? All right. Are all those systems available in EA? Absolutely not, Savmas. Woo! Ooh, man! Oh yeah, yeah, multiple team members. Okay, so let me just go back real quick. Hans Christian, absolutely baller. Absolutely amazing champion of all things. The Rockfish team, like a lot of the individuals that are composed here also worked on the original Galaxy on Fire. I want to put that out there so everybody's getting the credit they deserve. Just making sure that you're all aware of that. Galaxy on Fire was not created by a one-man team. That would be actually insane. Okay. But anyway, we're not talking about GOF. We're talking about Everspace 2! So let's go somewhere and blow something up. That's what I want to do. So let's find a place. Oh, where do you guys want to go? Where do you want to go? Do we want not Shattered Planet? Okay, that one's off limits. We could go to the Star. We could go to a planet-side location. We could maybe go to a new planet-side location if you beg Michael and you're really good boys and girls. We could explore some clouds within Union. We could explore the broken asteroid. We could also make nice with G&B or enemies. There's a lot of outlaws that we can go pilfer. Shuzen says broken roid. No. Oh, the broken roid. Okay. Show it all? My goodness. How many systems will be in early access? Savmas, to start, early access will probably have 2. But early access will be, there's going to be a lot of major updates to early access through the game before it hits version 1.0. So early access is transforming into 1.0 release, okay? So through that, we're probably going to add a healthy amount, and then whenever the 1.0 release drops, we're going to have all of the locations become available, which will probably include a couple systems that we hold back to ensure we've got taken care of on our end, and also to not spoil, mission content, etc., etc. So starting off, probably 2. If not, you'll start only with Cedo, but then very soon after early access starts, you'll have access to Union. But yeah, it will just keep expanding from there. How many systems will be in early? Oh yeah, I just answered that. Sorry. Woo. I'd like to see some planet side on Union, okay? We'll have to see what Michael thinks about that. Because that has only just been revealed. Like super, super recently revealed. So also just want to read these comments over on YouTube. Come on, Michael, please. Michael, come on, man, please. Shattered Planetoid. You guys. I love it. And Michael is making a good point, though. So we'll see as the stream goes on. But for now, I think I mean, Nifty's Plains, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. Because there's still a lot of you who don't seem to be seeing the planetside locations, which we are now vastly exploring. The Ulcer is a good one that I think deserves a little bit more love. So let's go there. Just for now. Just for now. Also, this is super light travel. This is where you're going to see random escape routes and distress calls and stuff like that populate that you can address. And also have this really slick view of looking around planets and seeing what regions you're located in. Now these regions, we're currently working on these, the reputation system behind the scenes, which we've alluded to multiple times, effectively kind of like a risk-reward system. Like if you are nice to your friends of the faction related to that region, you're gonna be rewarded for it. If you're a complete jerkwad, then you're not. In fact, you're probably gonna be ousted from that location through a lot of bad dudes wanting to mess you up. So be nice, unless you don't want to, because it's your game. Do what you want, I don't care. All right, so here we are at a mining location called the Ulcer. We have two locations. We have the main station over there and the Crystal Refinery. Trading and all of the stuff operations. It's pretty clean cut, pretty simple to utilize. Basically, you can restock. You can do a quick restock. If you go here, you can choose which elements that you want to restock. So it's like, oh, you know, I want my specifically my homing missile launchers restocked, or you know, whatever. I'm just gonna restock them all. But you can hit these down below to restock everything immediately. So you don't even go into a menu. Just like, I want it all. Then of course you have your shop itself, where if you had items that you collected, you could sell them, pick up new options and whatnot. Why do we not have any credits? Oh my gosh. Yeah, pretty cut and dry. There's also a lot of different ways to organize elements, like by item types, by rarity, by value in itself. You can do that with your own items as well. It's going to be possible to find certain trade lanes and whatnot within the game. So certain items are going to be desired by certain factions, and even more so, certain locations within systems. So for example, you might have a base right next to a star that really wants water. Like that's all they want. They just want water, because there's no water right next to a freaking star. I mean, come on. It doesn't work like that. So if you go to, you know, some crystalline mines on the outskirts of a solar system. It's just like frozen out there, and you just mine all this you know, frozen water effectively, put it on board your ship, and then go fly to that station. You're gonna make a nice profit. Specifically at that station. You can take it to the nearby station that's by all the water, the frozen water. They're gonna be like, psh, we'll give you half a credit per each one. You know, like they don't want it. So there's going to be that aspect within the game. It's probably a long ways out at this point, but we do want to have some semblance of a living and breathing economy within Everspace 2. And I say that, please take it with a grain of salt, okay? We are not developing some sort of intricate web of all of this ridiculous stuff behind the scenes. This is, at the end of the day, an arcadey space shooter, all right? And we want to streamline those elements as directly as possible. So you will be rewarded for obtaining certain things and taking them to certain locations. Stuff's not going to be as good if you take it to places that obviously isn't going to make sense. Clean, cut, and simple. Yes? Whew, I hope so. I hope so indeed. All right, so nothing here. We're just going to go ahead and launch. See you later, Crystal Refinery. But we do want to check out some of these GMB guys, because they're always fun. GMB is a faction within Everspace 2, as well as Everspace. They are a mining corporation. This actually, if my face wasn't on here, this would be a great poster of like, come work for G&B. We're the ones who mine everything. You know, some sort of like propaganda style poster. That's something I would love to see in the fan arts, by the way, is like somebody vouching for certain factions of Everspace 2. Granted, we haven't shown too many off yet, but I digress. But they, Gradient Brunt Prospects, they have been around for a while, for a time, and they are all about DAP mining. After the Okar colonial conflict that occurred several years ago, they expanded after the treaties were established with the Okar. The Okar are an alien race. They're kind of like lizard people. Call them lizard people, okay? And they are very much aggressive, but they also are sentient. They have, you know, they are capable of truths. They are capable of empathy. And so they worked out a deal with the colonials that came in. And the GMB faction is the remnants of the colonial fleet. So they've been demilitarized, and their focus is entirely industrial. They're here to mine stuff that the Okar don't care about, while the Okar still police these very locations in the DMZ through the treaties. So you will see a lot of GMB. As you can see here, like there's a lot of transports, a lot of fighters over there, and of course another station, and vast stations that they have all over the place, doing all sorts of work. They are no strangers to mass expansion. All right, so let's look at this main station. Maybe they actually have something. Yeah, okay, so we have a little bit of stuff. We can see here that this iron has a green marker on it. That means we are tracking a perk. And our perks, right over here, we go to DAX. We are tracking this repairs perk, and we need iron. That's all we need left, because I've been grinding the heck out of this, and I have almost everything else leveled up. But we still need iron, so if we had the money, we can actually finish this off right now, because there's a lot of iron here. Makes sense, it's a mining station, right? Pretty easy peasy. But since we can't afford it, maybe we should go pick up some jobs so we can come back here later and finish off that perk. That seems fair. So let's go ahead and find some jobs. Now, jobs are gonna have to be found at a completely different site. Currently, there's only one site that grants jobs in the current state of the game. This will obviously, I hope obviously, this will obviously change when the full game comes out. There will be many different sites that grant you wonderfully wonderful jobs. Build is looking great. Hey, Mike, thank you for that. We think so too. We're still working out some kinks, but we're feeling pretty good about it. We really did have a great week at Rockfish. It was a very delightful week. Lots of things accomplished. Do the race at the scrapyard. That's a great suggestion. Yeah, there are a lot of little mini challenges that the game will have to offer as well. One of which are just simple races. They may or may not develop into more. And there's also there's going to be an assortment of different things that you can come across. That again, we're going to preach this so much. it's a reward through your exploration. So if you take the time to go out and find these hidden locations scattered all about the game, then you will be treated to specialty missions, side missions. You'll be treated to unique items that can only be found if you accomplish those tasks. You'll be treated to maybe an unlock for a ship module. That might be how we associate that in the future. I'm not sure, okay? It's a strong maybe there. So a lot of different ways that we can reward the player through that exploration. So here we're gonna pick up some jobs. Acquisition of goods, we have to get 10 clothing. I don't think we got 10 clothing. We're gonna have to go past that one. We do like repelling attackers. That one's always a solid one. Search and destroy is probably my favorite because it's also just some nice combat experience. So we're gonna pick up 2 search and destroys from GMV Defense. This is one of the sub-factions of Grady and Brunt. You want an Eric sound session? Oh my god. We might do that a little bit later in the stream. Right now, did I mention it's been a long week? Yes, I love exploring. Good! Good! We want it to be a fantastic environment for you to go out and complete things. Crimson asking another question. Totally great. Before I get to that, I want to just answer a couple other ones first, because I just now going through the chat again, I see Unknown Spot asking how many levels will be there. Not actually sure. We're really not. Like right now I'm capped at level 10 because that's it's where we wanted to establish like the bridge from Cedo over to Union. That gives you some perspective. And we don't want the leveling system to feel incredibly grindy. We want it to balance out with the opportunities you are gaining access to through the experience, right? So, I mean, I don't think we're going for something crazy like 1,000 levels like that. I think that's way too absurd. We'll just have to figure that out. I think it's going to be more than 20, probably less than 100. We'll see. A good question. Okay, now Crimson asks yet another question that just popped up. Great. Lots of game developer companies are going the silent treatment route, basically sharing no information about development. Why is Rockfish so transparent? Well, I mean, I think that there's nothing wrong with either of these directions, honestly. Like, one of the things that we do here, that I do specifically, sorry, Michael, is that like, we want to show you what we've been working on. Because we're excited about it, because there's a lot to talk about, and we want to make sure that you know what's going on, right? Especially because we've taken your money. Like, if you're a backer of the game, you're expecting a quality product from us. We don't want to go silent and be like, oh yeah, okay guys, we're working on it, don't worry, everything's fine. No, like, we want to keep you in the know. That's kind of the short answer at the end of the day. Now, if you're looking at a developer who didn't do a Kickstarter, right? Maybe they just are hyping up a game and they're like, oh yeah, we're totally doing this thing. We hope that you're excited. There will be more information on this date, blah, blah, blah. And it's like a year later. That's fine. That's great. They've just got a plan of motion to move forward. I mean, there's some simple levels of communication there. It just depends on how the developer wants to take that interaction. And for us, it is imperative that we are keeping all that conversation alive and very transparent with our community so that you know where your money is going and how we are moving forward with our vision and also with yours. It's pretty straightforward. I hope that's straightforward. So yeah, I'm certainly not trying to say that, oh, Rockfish Games, we're better than other developers because we actually talk. I know that I actually made that playful jab, I think last week even, but you know, that's just what our plan of attack is. So take that as you will. Perfect. What if you could switch music audio instead to your ship radio to listen to tunes through your ship dash, complete with occasional GMB ads between songs? So I want to point something out because several of you have been talking about the sounds, the music in the game. And so note a couple things. I am not playing the game right now the way it's designed, where I'm sitting on screens for long periods of time. You'd normally be going through this a little bit faster. So the soundtracks that are applied are going to be based by a number of factors, right? It could be a special location that you go to. It could be a faction that you are circulating around. It could be specific missions. that you're doing. And this music follows what I like to call a dynamic system. What does that mean? That means that there are multi-leveled tracks where you get this section of music when everything's calm. Then if things start getting a little dangerous, it adds another level on top of it. And if the proverbial crud hits the fan, then it adds all of these extra levels to the music to where it's still that initial soundtrack that you were hearing, but now it's like maximized the intensity, right? And that's on all of the tracks that we're doing. Giho is our musician, our internal sound designer, sound wizard, if you will. We're pretty happy with what he's been doing to the game. And we know that the music's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. That's why there's a menu option to mute the music. You can play your own, that's fine. But we are being very mindful, very careful about how we're incorporating the music into the game so that it fits the needs of the experience. So, cool. Love the space ambient soundtrack in this. Hey, that's cool. That's great. We're happy. You want to hear the tracks we currently have? I cannot open up the soundtrack and show you because of many reasons, but the main reason is NDA. We can't do that. It's not done. And there's a lot that is going to be shown at specific times for specific reasons. Okay, let's grab another search and destroy. I know I'm being like incredibly dull in the missions that I'm shooting. They're all search and destroys. I just want to blow stuff up. We've been talking a lot. Just let me have this, okay? Just let me have this. Oh, also, before we have that, I want to show a little secret. A little secret. I don't think this is going to change, but if you fly all the way over here in this little corner, there's some containers. Just some added credits. Nice little bonus from this little wreckage. If I'm not mistaken, which I might be, yes, all the way over here, there's actually this little tunnel system. Look at this. It's like a nose. A couple different pathways you can fly through. It's all kind of interwoven. And if you can find the right pathways, you will be rewarded for some loot. Like credit. Or self-destruction, if you're not careful. We'll go on this one as well. But just some nice, simple rewards for exploration. Some more credits. Done and done. Perfect. So look around your environments. It's fruitful, I assure you. Assure you, even. All right, so let's go ahead and tackle this mission right here that has been assigned to us. Any plan to have ambient radio chatter as you get in more populated areas? I seem to remember Freelancer doing that pretty well. Yeah, I think, well, I know that in combat, you can kind of hear some of the radio chatter of your opponents. We did that in Everspace 1. We will see how that lines up. I'm pretty sure we're planning on bringing a lot of that radio chatter back because we want it to feel, you know, to that degree immersive where there's other entities out there, right? But just note that we're not planning on doing some sort of full-blown radio system that you customize and change. Like that's just not the focal point of the game. And again, if you want to do something like that, you can mute the music. You can turn on your own tracks that you have on your, you know, any system that you own at all that produces music. Like you can do that yourself. And I'm not saying that to be lazy. Like it's just like we want to create this rich, meaningful looter shooter content and blow stuff up. Our focus isn't really like being able to customize your music. I hope that you understand that. Boom! Oh, how did that not KO you in one hit? That makes me upset with you. Wow, he really drifted out there for a while. So we're using, my favorite weapon is the scatter gun in this game. I just used the pulse laser, but the scatter gun dishes out a tremendous amount of damage when your opponents don't have any shields. Like that. Just a single shot, he's dead. And they're the same level that I am. So I have a pulse laser and this executor, which is made by Baron Nova Gunnery, I believe. I think that's right. Yeah, Baron Nova Gunnery Ltd. They are manufacturers specifically of artillery-styled weapons. Baron Nova Gunnery. I think it's Gunnery. Is that right? Baron Nova. It's Baron Nova something. The most important aspect of this is that we are including manufacturer bonuses in the game, okay? That's what I'm getting at here. So if you had like this Executioner, which is a scattergun specifically designed by Baron Nova, you could bind this with, say, I don't know. Let's say they also produce sensors. They don't, but let's just say there's also a Baron Nova sensor, right? And first off, the Executioner scattergun is optimized differently from a standard scattergun. So that's going to be one inherent trait that's different. So these manufacturer items are different from the initial part that you found. Secondly, when you combine those with multiple parts, there will be a synergized manufacturer bonus. Kind of like what you'd see, I think they're called set items, like set items, right? So that is definitely in the works as well. So you'll be able to pick and choose how you're combining new opportunities through your experience too. Oh yeah, we don't have a flat cannon here. Maybe I can find a build that has a flat cannon, because I know you guys want to see that. Flat cannons are good. I would say that they're currently not balanced. They're kind of weak, unfortunately. Just like, can I get a sad emoji and F in chat? Oh my gosh. Flat cannons are a little weak right now, but the plan is to make them punctual when it comes to multiple foes, right? Much like you saw in Everspace 1. So we'll get there. We'll get there, don't you worry. Let's take out this last guy. I see a question about, will there be a water planetoid? I think that's a fair question. We haven't shown any, man, I love it whenever they spin out and blow up like that. I don't know why, it's just really satisfying to watch them get destroyed. But we are planning on doing a number of different types of planetoids, right? So, you know, some people are guessing, oh, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be the other thing. Like, yeah, I mean, it's possible we could do a water planet. You'll just have to wait, because there could be tie-ins for why we show certain planets in the future. Maybe we reveal them at certain times of new companions that you'll meet along the way. Maybe some companions that you've seen before. From Everspace 1. So we'll just have to wait and see. But the short answer is we do want to have a variety of planets. So kind of answers your question, but I have to be subtle. Also, look at all this iron. Oh, it's copper. Dang it. There's only one iron deposit. RIP. Okay, it's fine. Also, this is the boring basic mining where you fly up, you shoot it, you loot it. This is intentionally designed, first off, for a couple of reasons as well, but I'm just gonna be cut straight to the point. It's a looter shooter. You shoot, you get loot. That's how it's properly designed. Thank you, GG, moving on. But we also know that there are some very adamant space simulation players who are looking towards our game, since we are going into an open world RPG format, and there's a little bit more of that going on for many obvious reasons. And as such, I can confirm, in fact, that we are working on an advanced mining mechanic. So it will have an intricate mini game for you to accomplish and be rewarded through your skillful use of skills. Perfect. But we need a new mission. Let's go ahead and track this one. Perfect. Now we know where we're going. Kick says, like Alec? Maybe. Did you like Alec? Was Alec a fun character? Power allocation, shield balancing, or is that too sim? That's actually in the game, Savmas. So let's take a brief interlude and talk about the itemization, because I think that does come up a bit, and it's important. So I also want to make sure I'm not talking over the music. I do know that it's a bit loud right now. So let's first get to our destination. But basically, copper plate your ship appearance. Maybe we can find a copper color. And Mr. Sleva, I will answer your question in just a moment. I want to get this one first. So, I think it was it 23 kids? I didn't think it was 16. I thought he had more than that. I'm trying to remember how many kids Alec has now. Like that's... I remembered it so much whenever I was doing Everspace 1, and now that we've moved into Everspace 2, it's like... I can't remember. I want to say it's 23. But anyway, so let's talk about itemization here real briefly. So how does the allocation of energy work? Before we talk about the allocation of energy, let's first talk about how the energy even functions at all in the game. So looking right now in the middle of the screen, we have two little indicators. They're teeny tiny indicators on the left and the right of the very, very middle of the indicator, right? So when we fire a weapon on the right side, it gets white and it slowly drains. That is because the right side is your energy ammunition, okay? We have a lot of energy. When that empties, we can no longer fire. And it will start to regenerate so that we can fire again. Now, if I let go completely, it's gonna just regenerate pretty fast. All's well is fine and good. On the left side, we have boosting. Same exact principle. When we are done boosting, or rather when we're out of boosting energy, we stop boosting. And then it charges up again. All right? So you have boosting on your left, and you have ammo on your right, if you will. So how do we gain more, how do we allocate to both of these unique energy sources? It's a great question, and I really do appreciate this one, Savmas. So here we go. We have, the first thing to note is the energy core itself. The energy core is going to be your be-all, end-all energy producing element for your ship. So as you see here, for our weapons, this particular energy core, which is an Energizer SP created by Shiva Industries. This one, his face while talking, oh my gosh, what? Did I do something? Did I make a face? I make a lot of faces, it's fine. I hope you enjoy it, whatever I did. So, weapons, we get 57 energy per second using this energy core. We get 47 energies for our shield per second, and we get 47 energies for our booster per second. Again, your energy core is your main element for energy allocation. If you have a crappy energy core, but a really great weapon, for example, your weapon's gonna cost a lot of energy to use, so you only get like 4 or 5 shots on it before you have to wait for it to recharge. So you want to keep your elements balanced. You might even just go super heavy on your energy core to have a crappier weapon that you can just fire freaking freely for 10 minutes. That might be the way that you play. Could be unique in that sense. So let's talk about the weapon. Let's look at this really quick. And that you have a energy capacity and energy consumption on this weapon right here. So it's right underneath the fire rate, right? So this pulse laser gives you a total capacity of 189.1 energy. This is gonna vary based on the level, based on the tier, based on the manufacturer, based on a number of factors, lots of factors, okay? So that's the pool that you're working with when you specifically use the pulse laser. If I change over to the executioner, it also has, wow, that's impressive. It also has the exact same energy capacity, 189.1, okay? When we fire the pulse laser, per second, it uses 11.7 energy per second. To regenerate this, that comes from the energy core, 57 energy per second, okay? So that's how all of these things are binding together, right? We have your energy core that's then helping your weapon. Then we also have the shield, which on the shield, it has a capacity and a recharge speed associated with that, right? So that capacity and the recharge speeds affected by the shield output energy of 47 per second. So if we only had this shield and we didn't have an energizer or any energy core at all, this shield's gonna take a while to regenerate, like a long while, because that recharge speed increase is based off of the energy core. And then last but not least, the thrusters, in our particular ours, which is a cruise booster, this one also has energy capacity and energy consumption. This is becoming a very popular, territory now. Hopefully you're understanding and seeing how each of these energy systems work with one another. So you have your thrusters, your shield, your weapons, and then of course your energy core that binds that all together. Woo! We didn't even get into like how each one of these can have their own unique attributes and modifiers and synergies and affect your different ship stats and give you new bonuses entirely. And oh my gosh, we're only talking about energy here. But that's how it all kind of combines itself. That's how it all comes together. Okay, that was a lot of information. I hope that clarifies how that works together, how you'll play your cards right to keep things in place, keep things in check, and how you can also optimize your particular build. Maybe you want to have a lot of energy for one specific need, so you're gonna go after a specific energy core. There are energy cores out there that are all about weapons. There are energy cores that are all about shields. And you probably guessed it, there's energy cores that are all about boosting as well. So you'll have to find and mix and match and customize which ones suit your specific playstyle and your needs. Okay, now I want to get to this really, really big question. I'm going to quickly read through it, and then we'll go through it. But it comes from Mr. Sleva. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your question. Give an appreciation for our streams. You're welcome. We're just happy that we're able to have this type of conversation with our community. It's really effective and it's a lot of fun for us. Been wondering, what is going to be our end game goal? Is there a storyline that will drive us through the galaxy or we'll go around on our own? And second question, we'll just get all the questions out there first. Is there going to be some co-op or multiplayer arena game mode where we can fight with players versus waves of bots? Thanks and sorry if this was already asked before. So, first thing, never apologize for asking a question during these streams. Like, these streams are cultivated for you. All right, it is the space to ask any and all questions, preferably about Everspace 2, so you nailed it. No problems there whatsoever. So we're going to answer your second question, and then we're going to answer your first. Your second question has been answered. Totally cool. This is a single-player driven narrative experience, and everything thereof is a single-player game. That includes all of the balancing, all of the troubleshooting, all of the experiences that's being cultivated into the game is being driven with a single player vision in mind. This is also the way that it's been established through our community. We're really not looking at changing that formula. We want it to be single player. The second thing, your first question. Now, what's the end game goal and about the storyline? So the storyline, we are helping players through an elaborate campaign of approximately 20 to 30 hours so that you are driven with a specific goal in mind. It's going to be exploring your clone's character and learning what it means to really like be, right? To form an identity, to form relationships, to uncover this meaning of a rekindled life. A little bit spoilery, the reason why that's the direction of the narrative in Everspace 2 is Everspace 1, you learn that you're a clone and you have fragmented memories. So are you even really a person? And if you are, who are you? Are you the person that you were created from? Or are you your own sort of character? And we explored that narrative in Everspace 1 through this loop of death, where you kept getting reincarnated as a new clone, trying to answer this sort of question. And now moving into Everspace 2, slight spoiler, but the clone facility is no longer going to clone you anymore. So you are literally on your only life that you get to choose how it's lived. Yeah, you have this DNA from some other guy who gave you life, but you're not exactly him. You're something entirely new. And that's what the exploration of this narrative is discovering not only who that is, but also who you want to be. Excellent. So, in addition to that, the end game goal, outside of this campaign narrative that we want to share, is all about doing really what you want, is finding that new ship component to do that one unique thing, is creating new situations and opportunities for you by mixing and matching the content of the game. It is very much a looter shooter, and we want to keep rewarding players even when you've reached that max level. So through this, we are developing the Ancient Rifts. We talked about it on stream earlier. It's basically this concept of creating entirely new runs. They're kind of like pockets of Everspace 1 that we're plugging in, interjecting, infusing, if you will, into Everspace 2's late game, where you will trigger these rifts and fly through procedurally generated environments with a mission in mind. And the further you go, and the better you do, the more randomized, better loot that you're going to accrue. You'll come out of those rifts and be nicely equipped, or maybe you won't and you want to try again and find a new area to fly through that gives you some variety. Even after you've explored all these handcrafted environments that we are working painstakingly hard on, we're then going to have these procedurally generated spaces for you to go out and explore and accomplish. So, woo! Some big questions. Hopefully that covers the bulk of those for you. Yeah, so thanks for showing up and hanging out in the stream. It's great. It's delightful. New planet-side location in Union. Phonos? Phoinos? Your username intrigues me. I want to know more. But there is a new location, planet-side location in Union. I have not been given the go-ahead to show it. I know that it's in the trailer, but as you know, this is a work-in-progress build. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong, so I might not be able to. So we're going to hold off on that one for now, but know that we are developing a lot of new planet-side locations all across the solar systems that are present in the game, as well as rich, meaningful, distinctive landmarks that you'll be experiencing across the DMZ as well. I want to put this iron in. We got a little bit of iron. It feels good to just dump in here. We're almost halfway done with the iron. Oh my gosh, it's gonna feel so good to complete. Woo! Oh my gosh, the lateral thrusters. I don't know about you guys, but just I'm very pleased with these results. I think it adds a very powerful feel of showing you how you're moving your ship, for one, but also it feels right. It feels right. Really like the way that comes across. All right. Got him. Hop. No, thank you. Perfect. This is a dark asteroid. Creepy. Iron? Copper. Oh. I got so excited. I really want to find some more iron. Sticky turret! Oh, my buddies! I love these sticky turrets. What's a sticky turret, you might add? Well, I'm just gonna use it immediately because they get me excited. So, yeah, so sticky turret, there's this little thing that you launch and then it just attaches itself to a nearby asteroid for you. And look, it's like a little buddy! Oh, aren't they adorable? They're adorable friends of death and destruction. Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. Aw, so cute. Probably my favorite consumable in the game. As of right now, there's still more stuff coming, of course. Secrets? Secrets? Nope. Just a destroyed station? What was this? It's hard to tell. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we can accomplish. We got one more search and destroy. Where are we going? Perfect. Love sticky turrets. Dude, seriously, they're my favorite. I love them. Mephisto Lord says, secret loot. I don't think so, not yet. Let's start. Did I miss a question again? Oh my gosh, hang on a second. Hang on, everybody, hang on. Will we be revisiting areas from Everspace 1? I know that they were procedural, but it's the same galaxy. Okay, so it's no spoiler that this area resides in the demilitarized zone. And Everspace 1 also exists within the demilitarized zone. Yes, Everspace 1 was procedurally generated, creating random outlaw bases and GMB mining areas and OCAR reinforced patrol zones, etc., etc., etc. Because we're doing handcrafted environments in Everspace 2, I will just straight up say that in the demilitarized zone, we are going to explore new opportunities for things that you have maybe potentially seen, but also entirely new, unexplored territory for sure. So I guess what I'm really saying at the end of the day is we do want to have a callback to Everspace 1, and maybe there will be familiar territories, because again, we're in a similar location, right? But I also want to make sure that, like, I mean, it's a very different game. Like roguelike to open world, like that's a very big difference. So we'll see. Sound good? Is that a fair answer? We'll see. Hey guys, Rockfish Games, they are so incredibly transparent. Come join this stream. All right, now let's go check this guy out. Okay guys, I'm gonna give you the honest answer. We'll see. Oh my gosh, viewer counts dropping like flies. What do we gotta do? I know, we'll blow stuff up. Okay. I swear guys, like we do want to be as transparent as possible, but there are certain things that, I mean, frankly, they're still a work in progress, right? We're still in development. And if we were to revisit some of those familiar locations, we want to make sure that it's like, it's where it needs to be, right? We want to make sure that that has a moment to shine, you know? So we'll see. We'll get there. Maybe. Possibly. Sector 7 isn't procedural? Fair statement. Oh my gosh, have I not had text-to-speech on this entire stream? How sad is that? Guys, how have you not let me turn on the text-to-speech? I'm disappointed. All right, Viper. Hey, these guys are fun sometimes. Let's give him a mine. He missed the mine, unacceptable. Excuse me, sir. He shot the mine. This guy's a punk. Oh my gosh, I was gonna show you throwing mines around, because you can do that. There's a grapple mechanic in Everspace too. Let me see if I can pull this off. Or we'll just hit him with the mines. We are using a specific type of shield which just EMP'd him. And our teleporter leaves mines whenever we teleport. So we get up close and personal, we jump, and then the mine hits them where we leave off. Quite nice. So we're just being real cheeky. Oh man, we got corrupted! Ugh! Corrosion missiles. Definitely coming back. Vipers, who'd have thought, are the ones who launch those types of weaponry. Let's go grab this nano injector. Question, what happens when you die? Oh man, Mephisto Lord, what a philosophical question. Well, if we go back to Aristotle, just kidding. So in the game of Everspace 2, whenever you die, there's a couple of different things that can happen. So first, you have to figure out if you are on a mission. The second is if you are in open space. There's a couple other factors, I think. But the long and the short of it is that we want to make sure that your content is saved, it's backed up, if you will. For it being a looter shooter, we don't want you to find something really valuable, really exquisite, and then yoink that away from you, right? That wouldn't be fair, it wouldn't be fun. I don't think we would like to do that to you, and I don't think you want it to happen. So we are taking pretty good care in how missions are saved out. And basically, like if you start a mission, you're going through it, you collect some loot, and you die, our goal is to have you start at the beginning of the mission, but you still have obtained those items that you accrued when you got up to that point, right? That's the end goal. I don't actually think that our current save system is handling it like that. So either we're going to address that and fix it all nice and tidy, or we're going to figure out another solution to hopefully make that work. But it's mostly a checkpoint system. I think there might even be specific locations where you can save, but for the most part, like if you enter a new location or if you stop at a station, it saves right at that point. So if you lift off from a station and then just get blown out of the sky, then when you load your game, you're starting at that station. Let's also change some of our stuff here. I like this one. I really enjoy the energized boost and this ramming thing, which you may have seen in a recent video that I commentated on over on IGN. It was a lot of fun to do that video for you guys. I hope it was informative and a bit of fun for you as well. But we did something akin to what I'm about to do. Maybe we can even launch him into an asteroid. This might actually be dang near impossible, but we're gonna try. Oh my gosh, get freaking wrecked.
It's all done.
Thank you.
That felt pretty good. That felt pretty good. He was so weak. We went straight through his arm. He had no shields. And we're basically a giant kinetic bullet. That felt wonderful. Look at all his loot that flew all the way over here. Oh, that's great. Also, shout out to Giho, who has fixed the sound of pulling in multiple items. You sneaky man. I didn't see any update on that, but that was so much better on my ears. Great. So what I'm talking to you about that is basically we have this mechanic where you pull in multiple items at once. And before we had it to where it triggered the sound of pulling it in for every single item. So if you pulled in like say 15 items, basically you rip your ear holes. But that was adjusted. Woo! Another question. Soggy Cow asks about VR, and we do get an official response from Michael. And it's just making sure everybody is aware of it. VR is not on our list for many reasons. We'll have another look at VR after full release in 2022. So just for a point of clarity, we got a lot of feedback about how our VR implementation worked with Everspace 1, and if we go that direction, we just want to make sure that it's the best VR experience that it can possibly be, that's worth being a VR experience, instead of it being added on as a bonus to me. It's just a little bit of extra for you there. Noi Prox. Hi, and sorry for quite bad English. Dude, it's fine. I'm an English native and I suck at it. It's great. But I would like to know what could be the biggest ships you can get in the game, which possibilities you have to get new ships. Thanks a lot. Hey, thank you for being here and asking that question. You're a pretty swell chap. I like it. So, we're gonna use Star Wars as a reference because you look at this game and it's in space and you're like, oh, they're copying Star Wars. So, you know, it's a good reference point, right? Whatever. First off, we're not copying Star Wars, it's called Inspired By, so get that out of your mindset, dang it. You're a silly goose. And the second thing is, A-Wing to Millennium Falcon, kind of like that range, all right? If you can visualize that. If you need a different source, then think of like a Battlestar Galactica Viper to... Actually, I don't know a good sized ship in Battlestar Galactica that would be equivalent. But a small ship, you know, just like a nice little tidy sort of vessel, right? That you can, that's comparable to a very fast, very small, compact one-man fighter, all the way up to a pretty meaty ship, right? Maybe if we use Freelancer, like the Dromedary, right? The Dromedary's kind of got some weight on it. Something like that would be more of your largest ship. We don't want to go beyond that, okay? Because if we go too much larger, then we're losing the core aspect of the game, which is focused around a fighter ship, okay? I'm gonna put a lot of emphasis on this for you guys. The game's around fighter ships. I was probably really loud, sorry, but seriously, these are all designed to be fighters. So you're not flying freighters, you're not flying transports, you're not flying cruisers, you're not flying battleships, you're flying fighters, and those fighters can be pretty small, and they can be pretty hefty, pretty bulky, pretty thick, right? So that's that range. Battlestar Galactica Rhino, ooh, hey, that's a good, yeah, actually that's a good comparison, Shu. It's a good one. Man, I wanted to fly a Star Destroyer. You crazy. Zenday, terribly sorry for asking this several times. Hey, again, no apologies. No worries. There's a lot of questions that get asked. It's totally great. Will some of the dashboard info be available as transparent HUD in front of your eyes so you don't have to look down? So are you asking to effectively move the content that's at the bottom, like all the stuff down here, to move it like centralized on the actual window? Is that what you're asking about? If that is what you are asking, the current answer is no, we don't have that plan at this time. I think there's an interesting idea there. Might also be tricky based on the customization that we have coming in the future, but I really do like that suggestion. But I also see some big issues in development through that. So yeah, kind of a sucky response because it's probably going to be no. But still, I encourage you to post your feedback on the Steam forums for Everspace 2, where many people like to go and talk about the things that they would love to see, things that they are not excited about or not looking forward to, things that they are critically examining. Some really powerful thoughts and suggestions come out of that. And as you know, I preach this all the time, like, our community is like what helps us create this vision to the greatest success it can possibly be. So even though I'm telling you right now, like, no, that's probably not gonna happen, that seems kind of outside the norm, still, like, giving us suggestions and ideas of what that could possibly look like and maybe some examples, there could be a good cause there, you know? Maybe I'm completely wrong and, you know, I turn to one of my developer buddies and they're just like, oh yeah, Eric, that's totally easy to implement. I could do that in 2 minutes. That's like completely, that would never happen. But like, you get the idea, right? So, because I think that's, yeah, I think there's some weight to that. Okay, cool. I see some questions over on YouTube. Let's get these. Perhaps homeworld of Okar. Well, we do see one of the homeworlds of the Okar in Everspace 1. And the DLC, spoiler. Whoop! But it's kind of hard to get there. It's kind of tricky to get there. But who knows? Maybe that's even one of the locations on the map right now. Maybe Union is in Okar territory, right? If any of you have been following Everspace 2, like vehemently following, you know what I just said is completely wrong. But I also know that those of you who have seen the maps and have been lining everything up, you might be able to answer that question, even though I'm not allowed to. All right. We completed all our missions, didn't we? Yes, we did. Claim that reward. Give me those inertial dampeners. Delightfully so. How are we doing with our reputation? Did you know you can accrue your reputations? It's reputations. We are now partnered with freaking G&B Defense. That feels great. So whenever you raise in your ranks with the different factions going on, you'll see that you accrue new goods through your standing. We are now friends. We're now friends. It took a really long time, but we are now in the friend zone with G&B Defense. Excellent. So that's good. That's great. And we gained a couple new items through that partnership, which all kind of, they kind of suck. They kind of suck, but that's just because we're really fully stocked for the streams, if I'm being honest. Like, that's honestly why. But still, it's nice to have. And we can keep doing more missions to build up our reputation, or we could blast them to smithereens and lose our reputation for whatever reason. Maybe there's another faction that conflicts with their ideals and with their missions, so you might have to pick and choose which ones you're helping out, which ones you aren't. There could be a lot of different little factors in that. Let's go ahead and fly out to open space and see what else we can do. Man, I cannot believe we've been talking and answering questions for this long. Like, we have like 20 minutes left for the stream. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little trip into Union and at least show you guys some delicious clouds in Zarkov's Border Patrol as we answer some more questions. What will happen when you finish the main storyline? Will the game allow you to explore, trade, or fight pirates at your own pace? Yes. Yes and yes. Explore, trade, and fight pirates at your own pace. Absolutely. Those are all things that we want to do. Also, our music didn't reset. Hang on a second. I'm gonna try a trick. Try and reset the music. Much better. All right. So yeah. Pridey, there's your response. Yes, we absolutely want to have more abilities to accomplish at the end of the main storyline. You can pick and choose various jobs, locations to go explore. You could raid trade lanes. Trade lanes haven't been implemented yet, but those are going to be a thing. Different faction borders you'll be able to engage with or help out different factions. There's going to be a number of opportunities for you even in the in-game stat when you have all your stuff maxed out, so you can kind of do what you want with it. It's where that open world truly expands into that more, it's a dangerous term, but I'm going to use it into that sandboxy mode where you do what you want, right? Everspace 1 wormholes around. So as of right now, no. Wormholes do exist within our universe. It's very possible that we would see wormholes again. We'll just have to see what that looks like and how that feels for the overall game. Because obviously Kodo over here, it's not even connected to a warp gate. So there, I mean, how else would we get out there? What would we need? What would be useful to us? And I think wormhole, the idea of that in and of itself, I think that there's some thoughts there that deserve to be acknowledged. So that's good. Here, let me float around here. I really love turning the HUD off in this area, and it just, gosh dang it, it's just, I love this so much. So this is Zarkov Border Patrol, for those of you who don't know, and we do have a lot of freelancers around here as well. So this is a freelancer drone carrier. There's the warp gate. that we would have presumably flown through to get here. And there is a lightning storm in space. Does that make sense? Maybe not from a realistic perspective, but does it look awesome? I hope the answer is heck yeah. Man, the music is dead. This is kind of awesome. Music's incredibly soft. And I'm scared. There's a lot to explore through this nebula, through this space cloud, if you will. I quite enjoy this region. I think this is one of my favorite places to fly through. Oh man, the sounds of industry about us, commercialism, the trading and selling of goods all around us. Neat. All right. Let's answer some more questions. Will there be a specific faction in-game media outlet? I don't know. I legitimately don't know. I know that we are going to simulate media in the game, but I don't know if there's a specific faction. That would be interesting. A ship like the Defiant in Star Trek would be cool. Yes. It would also be copyright infringement. But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have taken a lot of inspiration from a lot of different sci-fi games and whatnot, and definitely think that some elements are cool to see and others, you know. But yeah, okay, Defiant. I hear you there, that's good. A heads-up display would be a neat idea. Okay, yeah. Agreed. A human-sized egg-shaped pod with a tiny blaster. That reminds me of a game, that legitimately reminds me of a game called Space Trader on Palm OS. Oh my gosh. Where the smallest ship you get is literally that. It's called a gnat, I think. And it's just like a pod. And that's it. And you have to like navigate around in this little tiny pod trading like 5 goods at a time because there's no space on it. Oh my gosh. But then once you've sold enough stuff that you can buy a new ship and you slowly get bigger and bigger. I don't think we want to go that small. That's a little too tiny. But the ships do get pretty small that you can fly. The light fighters in particular are my favorite. I will be completely honest. That stems from my gameplay of Everspace 1. Everspace 1's Scout, not only is it the best ship, but if you think it's not, you're wrong. Like, it's just... it's a delightful vessel. I love it for its speed, because, like, you can't get hit in it. Like, if you fly well, you can't get hit in it. And like, it doesn't matter that it's made out of paper, okay? Like, it's literally made out of paper, right? But don't worry about that because you're too fast. I'm just like looking over at the street. Everyone's like, gunship, sentinel! How dare you say the Scout's the best? Look, okay, everybody is entitled to their own opinions, even when they're wrong. It's fine, okay? It's great. I'm glad. I'm glad that you have certain ships that you like over others. I mean, with all sincerity, at the end of the day, the reason we have multiple ship options is to give you multiple ship options. If there was one be-all, end-all ship, that would kind of be dumb, wouldn't it? That would kind of defeat the point. So, yeah. Definitely dive into the ships that you know and love, by all means. All right. Beautiful. It looks like from our last edit, the clouds are actually thicker in this area. So there is continual work being done new features and elements being plugged in. Even in going through this space again, it's harder to see. It's harder to see. And this is only going to get more and more intricate as development goes on. So, very, very good stuff. Let's answer some more questions. Descent has first-person mode with cockpitless HUD. Yes, so like this, right? Yeah, we want that as well. We want it so bad that we went ahead and we did it. Yeah, and what's also neat about this, I actually have to turn the HUD on here, but like, I'm not using the right ship. Well, shoot. But something else that we want to be mindful of, maybe if I change this, maybe, no? All right. Something else that we want to try and give a little bit more awareness of, and we've explored this idea, is that in this first person mode, if you are moving up and down and left and right, we're also trying to see if we can visualize that here so that you know, aside from the screen moving on your right and your left, you know, whatever, you know that you're moving up and down because you might not be close to an object and it might be really hard to see that. And simply put, because we're adding that sort of level of visibility, that level of conveyance to the player, like here we get a little closer, like those lateral thrusters, we want to make sure that you understand how you're moving your ship. Like that's integral in a game that puts emphasis on like ship movement. Very, very integral. So yeah. Yeah, I love the ship design. It feels good. Gosh, dang it. I love that so much. Here, wait, let's get a lightning. Oh, yeah. Also, did you know that there's different ways that you can change the camera? Like we can get super crazy with the field of view, or we can adjust it and make it a little bit easier on the eyes. We can also change the aperture, should we desire to do that. Like if we wanted to center point. My mouse is a little fidgety here, so we could like change how this is kind of moving along. We can also change the exposure, brighten things up, or darken it a little bit to, you know, do things that we like. But you can craft your own sort of screenshots. We're really excited about this photo mode. Those with a clever eye through development notice that we did change the name from action freeze to photo mode. We're just making sure that it's consistent so everybody understands. Action freeze, even though we do think it sounds cool, we simply put, we don't want to confuse anybody. So yeah. Looking forward to the screenshots you guys are all going to take. It says, I mean, yeah, like, come on. If you're not excited about these screenshots, bruh. Actually, speaking of screenshots, maybe I should show some that you guys have made recently, since we have about 7 minutes left in the stream, and give a, you know, you guys get some love too here. That's good stuff. So I'll blow through a couple more questions. Actually, you know what? I will answer questions as I show the screenshots. That seem fair? That probably seems pretty fair. So I was going through the artworks today, and I saw specifically from oh my gosh, hang on a second. I think just 1 second. We had a couple screenshots from Excel recently, so we're going to show those off. Excel, the champion for providing some content to show at the end of the stream while we're answering a couple more questions. Just giving a second for my game to decide to figure things out. While I'm doing that, I want to talk a little bit about our community. Oh my gosh, did you know that you can go to discord.gg/rockfishgames to join our humble little community that we have for wonderful conversations, even about cooking? That's right, I spent a good wholesome 1 hour of my day today talking about pineapple pizza with the Discord. It was a lot of fun. If you don't think that's fun, then well, I guess that's fine, but like there's lots of different conversations that we can have over there, primarily and obviously about the development of Everspace 2. So definitely get yourself hooked up in there. It's a really fun time. It's nice. It's quite nice, I think. Otherwise, yeah, there's also Twitter and Instagram and Twitch and YouTube, of course, that you can saddle up beside if you want to get in touch with us in more unique ways as well. Okay, so now all of that's being said, let's go ahead and pop over to our news. Oh my goodness, that's great. And yeah, so Excel, like I said, Excel's been showing us a bit of love in our gallery and dropping some photos. Now he had some Ansel issues. So what you see here is not some ridiculous glitch inside of the game, nor is this an infestation of critters, even though it does appear to be a lot of mice. It just ends up being how it turned out. But still, I think that Excel did a really good job of capturing this imagery. I really love the way that he uses the ship to touch that light. I think it comes out super neat. Super neat. So let's see. You like the smaller target reticle over what was in the demo? Yeah, we agree. That's why we changed it, James. Seriously. We were exploring a lot of different options with the UI, and we also had some community suggestions, which may or may not influenced our overall decision, but we are happy with the direction that it's going, and we're still making more modifications. You know, we're still questioning everything, but not so much so we're not getting stuff done. But we're still making sure that what we're doing is truly the best for the situation at hand, right? Here's another one from Excel. All these are from Excel. So we've got 4 images from Excel to show you. He's just being a baller, taking some really nice shots. And frankly, I love it. I love it. And this could be you too. You could be playing the demo. You could be playing the alpha build, which will be changing over to the beta build soon. You could be just watching somebody stream and taking photos of their gameplay and then dropping it in the Discord. You know, whatever, make some fan art. I love showing you. Absolutely love showing you this stuff. It was an absolute... This is an absolute pain to be too long to get my location right. No, I know what you're saying. Hopefully that type of stuff will be easier to capture in the future, but still, you did a great job. I hope it hasn't been asked. It's okay if it has. Are there plans to implement something similar to the black holes in Everspace 1? So it hasn't been asked today. At Tuano, we are absolutely bringing environmental hazards back. The black hole is an interesting case. Because we are creating handcrafted locations around the solar system, it wouldn't make sense if we just had a procedurally generated black hole all of a sudden, right? Because then it kind of needs to be permanently bound there. It would have to be a specific location. So then we have to ask the question, do we want to have a specific location that is a black hole? And if we do, what does that look like? How's that going to affect the narrative of that area? How are we going to build a handcrafted environment around that? Because the way that I think the team sees that as a whole is if we use a black hole in an area, that is literally the area. Like, it is a black hole. There's not going to be a lot to really explore unless you're talking about what's on the event horizon, and then that kind of can get weird depending on your interpretations of the event horizon. It's a dangerous territory to play with. So the chances are not likely, I'm sad to say, for black holes in Everspace 2. But do keep in mind, we are exploring fantastic new options in Everspace 2 regarding those environment designs. Yeah. So good question. Here's another nice shot. Again, with all the mice, goodness gravy. You gotta figure that out with Ansel. I wonder why it's doing that. That's so strange, because your shots are beautiful otherwise. Your shots are beautiful otherwise. If got Zarkov, will there be a Flash Gordon faction? Flash! Whoa! No, I don't think there will be a faction, but I'm glad you caught that, though. Are we planning to improve implementation of Ansel? Excelsior? I mean, I think so, yeah. Taking a lot of screenshots in Everspace 1 while watching the stream today. Hey, no, that's awesome. That is fantastic. We also accept screenshots from Everspace 1 in our Discord in the gallery. Like we'll show any and all those things off. It's so much stuff. James, I do appreciate your compliment. We want to be as responsive as possible and helping you guys know what's going on. So I'm glad that it's working. I'm glad that you are receiving it in good form. We will continue doing these streams every Friday to make sure that we continue being as transparent as possible and giving you what's the up. So truly, thank you for being here and asking the questions. It's awesome. Okay, a couple more things because I think my time's actually over. Oh my gosh, yeah, it is. Just a couple last things. How about a restaurant on the edge of the black hole? Oh my gosh, David. Nice. I'm sure that we will have a lot of bountiful references to an assortment of sci-fi environments and locations in the full game. Console release in near future? Yes. At release, consoles. Yep, can confirm. And so you might be asking, well, what? Hey, whoa, calm down. Stop clapping. Okay, everybody calm down. So you might be asking, what consoles are we coming to? Well, first off, we're not coming to Switch. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. Now listen. We would love to come to the Switch, and we could, but that would take a lot freaking longer in development to take all the tools and all of the assets that we've created at this point to bring it there. It's just not worth it. It is not worth it for us to downsize it that far for the Switch, and we're cutting it off. We're cutting it off, and it's far more suited for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So you might also be thinking, well, what about, Mac, Linux support? Well, I can actually confirm, yes. Yes, absolutely Mac and Linux support for PC as well. And then you might be thinking, what about like next-gen consoles? Can you tell us any more about that? I can't tell you any more about that because we're still looking at partnerships. We're looking at opportunities. We're looking at all the things that need to lock in place before we make those decisions. Now, also keep in mind, our launch date is the end of 2021 or beginning of 2022, okay? And so pair that with the release of the next gen consoles means we would really be twisting ourselves in certain aspects in order to bring that to fruition. Again, I'm not saying no to this. I'm saying that we would need to be very careful in our approach. So if we do go that direction, we will make the announcements about that accordingly, okay? So that's how all of that is looped in. Also, the last image here, the mice really stand out here. But Excelsior, I still love the stuff that you're doing. It's good stuff. Okay, so yep, I think that we got all the questions mostly taken care of. I know I missed some. I know that I did. And for all of those that I did miss, just know that it's not because of you, it's because of me. And I still want to follow up with you, so you should join that wonderful Discord. Oh my gosh, we have an AMA channel in there even. Oh, it's so delightful. You just plug in a question and then you get an answer. It's almost like magic. Oh goodness. So I really do encourage you, if any of you have asked questions that I simply missed, I didn't cover it because I was answering something else, I was showing something off, whatever. Definitely dive into the AMA, drop your question there, and if I don't answer it, maybe a community member will, maybe somebody else on the team will get it, but I assure you, you will be covered, all right? Otherwise, yeah, there's some other social media sites and sounds that you can pop open over there to follow us and get the drop on. We're always wanting to keep you informed. It's just really important. So, yeah. Guys, I really do think that's all I got today for you. Again, super hype about Gamescom. I hope that you guys love the trailer. In fact, I loved it so much, I'm just going to show it to you again as I end. But I am going to give you my traditional, you guys have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, living to serve you. Don't stop being awesome, and we'll catch you in the next stream, all right? Toodles!